Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Patten. I'm the Parks Planning and Project Manager for the City of Sioux Falls. I'm excited this morning to give you an update on the design of the Aquatics Bonds projects, as well as an opportunity for the public to get involved in the process. Let me begin with a brief recap of how we got to this point, talking about the future of Sioux Falls Aquatics. As you may or may not know, we have some aging aquatic facilities in our community. They've served their useful life and are in need of replacement. These facilities are located at Frank Olson Park, Kuehn Park, and McKinnon Park. Because of this, our system master plan has prioritized replacement of these facilities, and in an effort to determine what the community would like to see with the replacement facilities, last year we conducted the Future Sioux Falls Community Engagement Process. That was a 6-month interactive process that involved multiple community meetings, discussions with the neighborhood, as well as online surveys and a social pinpoint website. All the meetings were well attended and received thousands of comments. Anyone that operates pools, and especially in a cold weather climate like Sioux Falls, will tell you that to achieve 30 years of operational life is a feat, an impressive one. And just for context, the pool at Kuehn Park is over 40 years old, and the pools at Frank Olson and McKinnon are over 50. So not only these pools aged out from operational issues, they also do not meet current ADA accessibility standards and really don't offer that high quality user experience that you find in today's modern aquatic facilities. Sioux Falls loves pools. We swim at a higher rate than our comparable communities. Even though we have over 2 times the amount of outdoor water you would normally find in a community like ours, we still have high attendance at all our existing facilities. Overcrowding comments are regularly noted. And every time we go out to the community to see what they'd like to see in our park system, outdoor and indoor aquatics facilities, as well as Learn to Swim and fitness-based program, always receive high priority investment rankings from our residents. So during that community engagement process we conducted last year, we did identify some common themes that came out of that. First, overcrowding at facilities was the number one reason people don't utilize or go to current facilities. When asked what they'd like to see in replacement facilities at Frank, Olson, and Kuehn Park, indoor recreation centers with aquatic components were preferred over replacing with an outdoor aquatic center. The community would like to see that balance of recreational water as well as fitness opportunities. Shade, gathering space, and tables consistently noted as something they'd like to see incorporated into the design of replacement facilities. And swimming lessons are wildly popular and the most desired programming from our residents. So since that community engagement process was completed, we conducted really a nationwide search for potential consultants to lead us in the planning efforts and have hired 2 design teams to lead those master planning processes. I want to point out that we are not starting from scratch. We're trying to build on the information we learned in this process and get deeper into the design going forward. We want to continue and evolve the community in all facets of the design and have regular touch points along the way. On that note, I'd like to point out that we are going to conduct kickoff meetings for the master plans of both Kuehn Park as well as Frank Olson. Kuehn Park's kickoff meeting will be held on November 7th at 5:30. This will be at the Prairie West Library. It will include a presentation, interactive surveys, as well as open discussion. The Frank Olson kickoff meeting will be held on November 8th and 9th at 6:30. This will be at the Social, located at Thompson and 11th. This is a special events venue located within the Frank Olson neighborhood. That process will be a 2-day charrette, which is an inclusive, hands-on process where we try to utilize the ideas and the energy of the community as well as the decision makers in planning for that park as well. So I'd like to point out that feedback from the community is the foundation for design in any public facility. This is your Aquatics Bond, Sioux Falls, and we really need you, the users of these facilities, to be the key stakeholders in the design. So know that this is just the kickoff in this process. It's not your only chance to provide feedback. There'll be multiple meetings going forward where we review preliminary concepts, You have a chance to provide feedback for refinement of those concepts and ultimately adoption of the master plans. We want to continue to keep the public involved, and we really encourage you to get out and provide that feedback. With that, I can try and take any questions you might have.
Why hire two designers?
Yeah, well, so the decision was made on that for a couple of different reasons. One, these are big efforts, right? And it takes a lot of resources to be able to complete full master plans with aquatic facilities like this. But we also felt that there's opportunities to be learned by different ideas from different organizations, and ultimately we can cross-use those ideas in the planning of these facilities and just really ultimately end up with the best overall product. Well, that's yet to be determined. Going forward, we're kicking off the process here in November, right? And hope to have master plans adopted later next year, whether that be April, May, yet to be determined. It kind of depends on how the concept planning, all that goes. And then once we get done with the adopted master plans, we'll roll right into design. And so whether or not we go indoor, whether or not we go outdoor, that'll kind of determine when we break ground on these facilities. But we'd ultimately like to create as little disturbance for the park users as possible. So they may be staggered, they may not be staggered. It kind of depends on where the new pools are located within the park and what sort of disturbance they might have. Well, I think ultimately we'd like to break ground here in the next couple of years. Yes, so the council will have approval of the bonds, but this will the bonds will be paid for with existing sales tax revenues.
Will these be bought other projects, not just pool park projects?
So originally there was some discussion about this being a quality of life bond. Since then, the council's made efforts to remove some projects from that and pay for cash. So if you remember, earlier this year, we supplemented design and construction funding for the Elmwood Clubhouse, which originally may have been a part of the bond, is now being paid for with cash. And so the focus on this particular bond is aquatics, and therefore it's the Aquatics Bond. We're still working through that. It really comes down to whether or not we go indoor, whether we go outdoor. I mean, just a lot of stuff up there, yeah. Right. That was the feedback we learned from the community in our last engagement sessions. Was indoor recreation is a need in our community. You know, we're cold 8-9 months out of the year, and so finding a place for residents to recreate throughout the wintertime is a need. And aquatics oftentimes serves as the anchor component in recreation centers. People like to swim in the winter, but they also like to run and work out and do art classes and everything else that can happen inside a rec center. Well, it's been a wild ride as far as estimating construction cost and inflation and all that. And, I think that's all to be determined yet. We're in the early stages of planning, and we have a good team in place and we got a good plan. And so we're hoping to manage the situation as best we can.
Do we have one indoor?
Correct.
So if they're indoor, you're going to have a lot more.
Right. Yeah, the Midco Aquatic Center is really strictly a swimming-based facility, right? I would call it a world-class swimming facility. It can house anything from day-to-day fitness and recreation swimming as well as competitive meets, right? And when we built Midco, I want to say brought us just up to where we needed for indoor water in Sioux Falls. And since then, Sioux Falls has grown. We added more residents. And now we're starting to eclipse the need for more indoor water, right? And so I don't think that we need another Midco Aquatic Center where it's, fully water-based activity. But adding some more indoor water combined with other recreational needs like walking tracks and fitness areas and meeting rooms and all that is the right mix for what we need going forward. I would think so. I'm told it's the fastest water in the state. So, Say that again?
How's the traffic over there? Is any of the fears about, I'm just going back to the
Oh.
any of the fears and traffic over there ever materialized?
Not to my knowledge. As far as I'm concerned, it's really worked out. I mean, maybe a little bit at the beginning, people getting used to it all, but it seems to function pretty well today.
It's hard to say, yes, this is what we want. That's really what you.
Well, here's what I would say is the community told us they would like indoor water. National recommendations are we need some more indoor water. And so as a Parks Department, we're trying to deliver what the community wants and what they need from a recreation standpoint. And I would say that aligns well with indoor water.
There was talk about getting a pool from outside of town.
Yeah, it is. So that was something that sort of came up organically out of that community engagement process we did last year. The impetus for that whole process was to address our aging facilities. But just out of discussions and out of polls, it was like we would really like to see another swimming opportunity on the south. And so as a part of our selection for consultants, we will be investigating opportunities for a second or an additional pool to the south. But the process for that probably won't start until early next year.
You have two consultants, but it is still possible that you would essentially build identical. If two New York cities that had Kuehn and Olson, is it possible that you could use the design for one and both places that way?
Yeah, that is a method that's used from time to time. You can tell, like with the schools, like Washington and Roosevelt, are mirror images of each other. I think our thought is, Kuehn Park and Frank Olson have two separate identities, right? They're located east and west, and it's good spacing between each other. But the park itself serves different purposes. Like Frank Olson is used for a lot of softball and baseball. Kuehn Park has skate parks and more of a neighborhood equipment and all that. And so I would be surprised if we built identical facilities because I don't think they would fit based on the neighborhoods and the needs of those park systems. But like I said, we're just kicking off the master planning process now, so we'll see. Anything else? Well, thank you very much. Next up is Dustin Hansen.
Good morning, Dustin Hansen with Public Works. Here to talk about our 14th annual Paint the Plow event, which will be this Saturday at the Levitt, and we have 18 plows that will be on display. Anybody's welcome to come out to that event, vote for their favorite plow. That will be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday. Hoping for good weather for that. You can also, we'll have a couple blank plows there at the event so that anyone can paint on those plows. As well as we'll have a sign up for a student to win a ride to school in a snowplow, which we'll do later on this season. So hopefully we don't have any snow this year and we can fit that in. So as we talk about Paint the Plow, obviously, winter is just right around the corner for us, and we have numerous numbers of outlets for information. SiouxFalls.org/snow. And of course, if you want to get alerts for if we do call a snow alert during the season, you can text snow alert to 888-777. And once we declare that snow alert, you'll actually get a text on your mobile device and an email. And then finally, we're going to hold a one-day hiring event. We are looking, obviously, for what we like to call our snow fighters. So if you have a CDL, a Class A or Class B, we're going to be holding a one-day hiring event October 31st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's a Tuesday. And please bring driver's license, social security card, and we're hoping to hire on the spot if you meet all the qualifications. Again, that'll be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our city center location. With that, I will take any questions. I need a few more hours, but it's getting close. That varies a little bit. So we'll utilize several of the departments within Public Works. We also use our Parks Department. Several employees there have CDLs. We also utilize our Sioux Falls Fire. And a lot of times it depends on the size of the event. But we we like to hire anywhere from 25 to 30 seasonal employees with CDLs. We typically average around 12 to 15, so we're definitely lacking in that department. And so I would say for the past 10 years, we probably averaged that 12 to 15. Currently, it's $20.60 per hour, but we're looking to increase that in the next 2 weeks. No. Correct. Yes, and that would be another announcement. You know, if you're a contractor that has motor graders, side dumps, any type of snow equipment, you can contact us to potentially work up a contract for us. We will utilize anywhere from 10 to 15 contractors with motor graders, and then if we get into a very large event, like last year we had several. You know, sometimes we were running 50 to 60 side dumps that were all contracted out, and so. You know, those are the two main areas that we're looking for. If you have a motor grader, some people call them a blade, or a side dump that we can put you on contract. I don't think I'm going to predict anything because I think I said around 17 inches last year. I got quite a few eye rolls, so I don't think I'm going to say a number this year. Okay, thank you.